What's good, y'all? About to drop a video for y'all real quick before I finish up my day. Just got done doing my cardio, trying to get this body together. It's getting there. But anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all about the sacrifices that you make when it comes to dealing with people. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand that no matter what sacrifice or sacrifice is that you may make, you're not going to make everybody happy. I'm going to say that again. No matter what sacrifice or sacrifices that you decide to make, you're not going to make everybody happy. I would say this that I'm about to talk about is like one of the number one lessons that I had to learn in my life. And I feel like this stems from people who have good hearts, that have good intentions. People that move in a way with others without looking for anything in return. You see what I'm saying? Because you just care that fucking much that you just want to help people and love on people and be there for people. And because there's a lot of people out here who don't have that. It's a lot of people out here that's really winging life alone. They don't have nobody that, they can really call on, and they don't have people they can really talk to and vent to and all that shit. And some of us who came from those same type of experiences, that's one of the reasons why we do have good hearts and we have good intentions, because we know what that shit feel like, right? So when it comes to, you making friends with people and even your romantic relationships, we tend to feel like the more sacrifice that you make, the more you'll be able to make that person happy, or the more you'll be able to make those people happy. And the reality of it is, it doesn't matter. For one, true happiness comes from within. When you're dealing with a person who is genuinely happy from the inside out, you will notice that the effort that you have to put into being in their life, no matter who they may be, the effort that you have to put into their life, it is not going to be that, you don't have to put in that much effort, because that person is so happy within themselves that they really don't really need you to contribute to their happiness all like that. They find when you're around in their life, when you're in their life, it's the small things that matter. You know what I mean? You will find yourself not having to go all out and go above and beyond for those type of people, because they're truly, genuinely happy within themselves. Because it's really nothing that you can do that they can't do for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like making a person happy, those type of people are only really concerned with, the company that they keep. You know what I mean? Like, are you a friend to them just like they're a friend to you? Like shit like that. It doesn't require you to go to the moon and back in your romantic relationships. If you can just simply reciprocate, then you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? With the person who's genuinely happy within themselves. But when you're dealing with people who aren't happy within themselves, then they'll have you thinking that you got to make all these kinds of sacrifices, and you got to go to the moon and back, and you got to break your neck and do all this other shit to make them happy. And you always tend to find yourself noticing that no matter what you do, no matter what you bring to the table, no matter what, they always find something wrong. They always find a way to make you feel like somehow you came up short when it comes to dealing with them. And it only feels like that because that person lacks what it takes to genuinely feel happy within themselves. It is not your responsibility. It ain't my responsibility. It's no one's responsibility to make anybody happy. The only thing you can do is contribute to someone's happiness. You know, you can contribute to someone feeling happy. You can contribute to someone feeling loved. But all that shit honestly comes from within themselves. And that shit requires you to put in some work. You gotta understand that a lot of people out here really don't know what the fuck they want. You know, a lot of people out here ain't really satisfied. They don't find satisfaction like that. They can get something that they've always wanted. And once they get it, it's cool for the moment, and then they want something else. You know, people tend to switch up so much that it's like truly impossible to sit there and be the reason why a motherfucker is happy. And when it comes in life, because we are in the flesh, like I be talking about, we in the flesh, like our experiences, our wants and needs and shit can tend to change over time. It's like a roller coaster. This year, you might really want something. And next year, you may not want it at all. You might find yourself really wanting to be with a person. The past 6 months, you've been wanting to be with a person. The 7th and 8th month, you start realizing you don't want their ass no more. You see what I'm saying? And it sucks. Because people who don't understand that, you know, they really try to make all kinds of sacrifices. You know, when you love and care for a person, you do try to come through for them and how they feel like they need somebody to come through for them. You know what I'm saying? That you do try to, if they want a car, you like, well, I'm gonna try to, you know, see what I can do. Or, you know, I want to go on this trip and I'm gonna see what I can do. And you'll find yourself over time, if that person is not genuinely happy within themselves, you'll be making all these sacrifices, and then you will feel drained because you like, damn, I can't make them happy. Or damn, nothing I do is enough. Because it's not, and it never will be. You see what I'm saying? It never will be. And I remember for years, I spent a lot of years of my life moving that same way. And it's never enough. Because we are fickle. We are emotional. We don't know what the fuck we want. We're constantly evolving and growing. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're constantly evolving and growing, our likes and dislikes, they switch up. Everything tends to switch up. And it ain't even that people are trying to purposely do that. You know, people aren't really trying to purposely be difficult in that way. But I just feel like it comes with the territory of being human. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like, and if you don't understand this concept, you will keep finding yourself trying to make these sacrifices and feeling drained, trying to make somebody happy, when the reality is that you can't. You can add to it. Someone like me, I don't need somebody to go to the moon and back for me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a lot of things like that. Like, if I can get someone to reciprocate what I do, how I treat them, and they treat me the same way, that's good enough for me. You see what I'm saying? Because I've grown over the years in a way that I don't need much like that. And I feel like I lived, like I just turned 35, but I feel like I lived a good amount of my life to the point where I know for a fact what I want. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I need. And I also know, though, that that's up to me. I know it wouldn't be right of me to sit there and try to put that type of pressure or burden on people. You know what I'm saying? Anything that I feel like I lack, or any void that I feel like needs to be filled in my life, I know that's up to me to make sure that happens. I can't put that on somebody else. See, but that comes with growth. Just like when I had to come to the realization about love. That's why years ago I used to yearn for that shit so bad. Now I grew to love myself so much that if I get it, that's cool. If I don't, that's still cool. That's okay with me. You see what I'm saying? But it's a learning process. And I learned that back then because I didn't really love myself. And I was putting unrealistic expectations on people. You learn to just grow standards. Everybody had their own standards. And you learn to not get mad. If somebody can't meet my standards, I'm not gonna get mad if they can't. And it's a lot of people out there that just has this list of standards and shit, and they want to just put all this shit on a person and then beat them upside the head because they falling short. That ain't how you operate with that. You find more peace in having that list, and you like, this is what I want, this is what I feel like I need, when it comes to dealing with a person or having a person in my life. And it's kind of like when you apply for a job. Can you do this job for this amount of money? Can you uphold to the standards of this company? Type shit. And if you feel like you can, go ahead and apply. And if you know that you can't, then you might need to go apply somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? It's that simple. But I need y'all to understand that no matter what sacrifice you make or sacrifices you make, you're not going to make everybody happy. Somebody is always going to make it seem that you came up short. You could have went out there and reached for the stars and the moon for a motherfucker. But they going to find a way to make you feel like you came up short. And it's not even on purpose. I can honestly say that. It's because they just don't know what they want. They're unsure. They're uncertain of certain things in their life. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. It's certain things. It's shit. It's still shit in their life that they have to figure out. And because they haven't got it figured out, then at some point you're going to feel like you came up short. And people have this natural tendency to want more. They can have the best of the best. You could have been one of the best people that came into their life and showed them love and provided them a life. Or hell, you might be somebody that came into somebody's life and they ain't even got to work. They can just chill at home and swipe a fucking credit card or whatever the case may be. But if they're not right within themselves, if they haven't found true happiness within themselves, you will always find yourself just constantly making these sacrifices. And you like, damn, I done did all this. And it's still not enough. But it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. It's something about them, some work that they should have did that they haven't done. And it's just something that they have to work on within themselves. Uncertainty within themselves. And what happens is you get dragged through the dirt. Once you understand that concept, then you will stop feeling all this pressure. Me, I had to learn that if what I've done, if what I give, if who I am ain't enough, then I had to teach myself. I had to learn how to fall back on my own. Because you'll have people who will never just tell you because of the benefit. You know what I'm saying? They'll keep you around. They're going to still keep you around because they benefiting off of you. But you have some people out there who just won't simply say, like, you don't do it for me. Or, you have to learn how to read in between the lines. Because you would think that people will sit there and be that real with you, but unfortunately they won't. You got to learn to peep it. And I mastered that shit over time, after bumping my head a million times. When it comes to this topic that I'm talking about, I've mastered learning to say what the fuck the other person won't say. You see what I'm saying? I've mastered that. It went from me waiting on the motherfucker to like say something to now I don't need you to say anything because I already peeped it. So what I'm gonna do is step away. I'm gonna take away my friendship. Romantic wise, I'm gonna take away my love and my care. And I'm going to go my separate way. And I hope you figure things out. You see what I'm saying? That's how I learned to move with people. And I learned to not take offense so much. Because it's not always about you. We all deal with our own shit, and we've all had similar experiences, and some of us had different experiences, and we're all still growing, and some of us are at different levels in life. And you can't really take offense. Like, some people, they're just not there yet, and that's okay. But you gotta learn how to peep that shit. You gotta learn how to read in between the lines. Because if not, you will be fucking drained. You will be drained. You will be drained. And if you're not careful, on top of being drained, you'll realize that you stop the work that you need to put in on yourself. You stop putting in the work on yourself because you be so focused on trying to appease other people that you fail to realize at times that you haven't even worked on you. You stop caring about yourself. You stop loving on you. You stop doing what it is that you needed to do for you. Because you're so worried about making them happy, quote unquote. And the reality of it is, you can't. You can only contribute to it. You see what I'm saying? You can only contribute to it. And I've learned this through my experiences. And realizing that because I wasn't happy at one point in life, that I try to put all that shit on people. And didn't realize that it was selfish of me to do that. Because they can't. They can't. I had to do that. I had to go deep within myself and figure that out on my own. I had to become okay with where I was and understand that it was certain things about me that I needed to change. I needed to make certain moves. And it was me. Me and God and the universe. I can't put that kind of burden on somebody else. Because they working on their own happiness. You see what I'm saying? So understand that no matter what sacrifice or sacrifices you make, you won't make everybody happy. And if you make certain sacrifices and the motherfucker make it seem like you came up short, it's not your problem. You didn't come up short. It's not you. It's shit about them that they're uncertain of. shit about them that they have to still figure out. It has nothing to do with you, sweetie. So don't be out here stressing yourself out over motherfuckers and, you know, trying to, you know, if you're going to reach for the moon and the stars for a person, if you're going to become this type of friend, make sure it's being reciprocated. Because the whole time a motherfucker put you on this type of mission for their happiness, and you'll realize that they ain't even trying to make you happy. You see what I'm saying? You don't even realize that it's one-sided. That's why I've learned to become big on reciprocating. It has to go both ways. You aren't responsible for someone's happiness. Stop stretching yourself out like that. Work on your own happiness. When you work on you being happy, like I say, energy is real. When you work on your happiness, people will see that. And you will attract that.